Hey there everybody, and welcome to the Geek Vault. I'm Dan, and as you tell by the title, we're here to look at Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 was originally released in 2005 with a remastered version releasing in 2017. The 2017 version of this game is visually stunning. I've had a blast playing this game, especially with a good friend of mine, Berserk, who when I first got the game, about 3 months before it had its resurgence, he taught me a lot about this game. Whenever I'd get on, he'd be on it with me, coaching me and teaching me. You know, Berserk being there to sort of coach and teach me was great. Because while the game is intuitive, there are things that you can do in the game that you just don't really know unless you either look it up or somebody tells you, and then of course you've got to practice it. Like parrying. Great tool for fighting one-on-one. Or if you're a real master at it, you can parry 2-3 people at a time. That is not me. That is Berserk. And let's just see how Berserk plays, shall we?
I haven't really got much experience with Grievous. Let's try Grievous. In fact, he's only level 5, so that's the amount of experience I have with Grievous. Hello, friends! Oh god, Grievous' stamina is terrible.
Find me?
Kill spree, halfway completed.
Ow! Lando, fuck off.
Not opposed.
All hail the Dark Lord of kill streaks.
Huh? We ain't done yet. Go on. Oh shit, why am I the Emperor?
Against villains without a sense of
Oh
humor.
well, fuck it.
Destiny takes a dark turn as the first hero falls.
Right, they've got Han and Leia.
Villainy carves a path toward victory.
What did I tell you? Berserk don't mess around in this game. I have literally seen people on this game, on the Naboo map, recreate the Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul scene. Obviously, different endings, Darth Maul can win. But there are certain maps where certain characters just like to fling other people off the map, and people do not take too kindly to that. Each character has a preset use of abilities to learn and fight with enemies, from force pull or force push to spinning themselves through the air with their lightsaber. But one note from just a random guy who plays the game is that having these preset abilities that each character has, once you sort of play the game long enough, you know them all. So you can kind of tell what each character's going to do. I think it would be better if you had, like, let's say 10 abilities, but you could only have 3 active at a time. So you've still got the 3 abilities while you're fighting, but there are others to pick from. That way, becomes more of a mind game as well. It's not only a lightsaber fight, you have to try and sort of figure out what the other person's abilities are, how they're going to use them. I think it would just keep it more interesting. This game has seen a huge resurgence recently, and it's been great to see new players come to this game, so you don't have to wait around in lobbies just like... As I said, I started playing about 3 months before this big resurgence, and sometimes me and Berserk would sit in lobbies for 10-15 minutes before eventually just saying, no, nobody's joining. And it's a shame because the online is good and the maps are visually stunning to look at. That said, again, they get repetitive, so you can only hope with this game getting resurgence, maybe the devs will look at it again, maybe add some new maps, some new characters. You never know. I'll try and keep this video fairly short as it's the first review video that I'm doing, and I'm sure not too many people want to stare at my ugly bug the whole time. So we'll include a fair amount of footage from Berserk and a little bit of footage from myself, just so you can see how differently we played this game. I have been practicing, I am better. I've got a couple of decent characters now. Some characters I suck at. Blaster characters are not my forte. I am not good with the blasters. However, if you do enjoy this video, then leave it down in the comments if there's anything else that you would like more info on, anything you wished I'd elaborated on, just leave it down in the comments for me, guys. So we've talked about, we've had a little discussion about the graphics, the characters, the gameplay, the style. As I said, I don't want to go into too much detail as this is the first review video I'm doing, so maybe we can revisit it at a later time if that's what anybody would like to do. So a couple of the bad things about this game is when it came out it saw a steady decline of players, which is really a sad thing because it's a good game, which eventually led to the game not being optimized, receiving any updates to counter any glitches or any bugs or people exploiting the game, anything like that. But some of these can lead to really funny moments. Check it out. Oh, hey guys, sorry to butt in while you're watching. Dan here again. Just forgot to mention that these clips that you're about to see are not mine. As you can see in the top left corner, you can see the names of the people who created them. Just trying to give credit where credit is due. Have fun with the rest of the video, and if you feel like it, go and check them out. See you later.
Oh, I don't think so.
I appreciate it, aren't you, Grievous?
Call this a diplomatic solution?
It seems I've gotten into quite a mess now, haven't I?
Like I said, some of them can be quite funny, especially if you're in the right group of people. But the only real bad downside to this game are the people. And that's a sad statement in and of itself. But a lot of people in this game are very toxic. And it's really sad to see because it's a good game and you can have a laugh. If you want to, I've been in a couple of lobbies where people are proper laughing. And they're trying to like stack each other like fucking Legos or something. You know, it's one person stood on the bottom and the other one jumps and just tries to balance on their head. Like, it's funny, especially depending on the maps you're on. It can be great fun. But the only real downside, as I've said, is these really toxic people. And we've got a few instances to show you here.
All hail the Dark Lord of
Ah, I'm being shot. What the fuck?
Be civilized about this.
What is that? Wow.
You understand your place. Good.
Kill yourself, you fat fuck.
Ezio brings the conflict to a close with military-like precision.
Wow. And some map. You racist fuck.
Wow!
Wow, that okay. Wow. That escalated. What the fuck?
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. That no. And you know what? That is an excellent segue for me to talk onto things that are just not acceptable to say. So it seems that a lot of these people are the real higher level characters. And these higher level players, sadly, they seem to think that because they've got more experience on this game, that it gives them this divine right to really try and bully, belittle and shame new players, which of course will keep players away and will do nothing but eventually lead to another decline in players, because people don't want that. People want to join a game, have fun, chill, you know. So people are going to avoid something. I mean, that being said though, the older players aren't the only people to show a toxic side. I've seen new players lose and go off on hateful rants about losing or telling higher player levels to get a girlfriend, go get a life, touch grass because they're such a high level. But you have to remember, this game came out in 2017, so if they've been playing it since 2017, they've had years to level up these characters. Even if they only played for an hour or two a night, they've had years to level up these characters. So they don't need to go outside and touch grass, whatever, you know. But on a personal note from me, as a player of this game, I want to show you something that I don't think is okay. Something that shouldn't be said. Now, you know, some people out there might think it's being woke and crap like that, and well, I mean, it is what it is, whatever, you know, think what you will. But I believe there's a line that you just don't cross. If you're having banter online, there's lines that you don't cross. And there's some things that are just not okay to joke about. So this clip that I'm going to show you is a fairly new player after they lost a game. I will have to blur out their names, sadly, as I can't have any legal comeback on me. I wish I didn't have to. I would love for everybody to know who this player was. And who knows, maybe some intrepid people out there can somehow figure it out, but for legal reasons I have to blur the name. Now, look, seriously, I don't like it when people take jokes too seriously. You know, a bit of banter, telling somebody to fuck off and, you know, saying you did this to your mother. It's all in good fun. Yes, it can be taken too seriously, but some people can't take a joke. But there are just some things that me personally, that you just don't joke about, and that is one of them. There are people out there that's had this stuff happen to them. You know, I just don't think it's okay to joke about just because you're pissed off that you lost on a game. I mean, come on, seriously. You're telling other people to go get a life when you're acting this way on a video game. It's not acceptable. You need to grow up and do better, people. Alright. Now, obviously, that doesn't apply to everybody. As I said, like I've had arguments myself with people telling me to go fuck myself, and I'm turn around and give a witty comeback, all of that. You know, I don't usually go off on rants at people. In fact, I've never done that because it's just a game. Like, if somebody starts having a go at me, I'll give a little banter back, or I'll just write "LOL, you're funny," you know, something just to let them know that I don't care, and that just pisses them off even more, which is just funnier. But there are just some things that you just don't say, guys. So with that whole personal note aside, I'd give this game a solid 8 out of 10. From the gameplay, to the graphics, to the characters, to the voice lines, to even these tiny details in the game that you don't notice at first, but then when you really look at it, you do notice. Alright, so I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. The only letdown being the lack of game support these days, as I've said, for bugs and glitches, and the really toxic player base. Thank you everybody for tuning in and listening to me rant about Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's my first review video. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please do me a favour and hit that like and the subscribe button. Yes, I know I'm begging. But if by doing that, you will help me achieve a lifelong dream. So thank you anybody who watched, and double thank you to anybody who hits that subscribe button for more content down the line. Have a good one, guys, and thanks from the Geek Vault.